To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it's nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take up arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing in them. These are the very famous lines of the play Hamlet written by William Shakespeare. Today we're going to discuss a little bit about brief theme and summary of the play Hamlet. As we all know that William Shakespeare is one of the greatest dramatists of English literature. His name is written in golden letters in the history of English literature. He is the national poet of England and is called the Bard of Avon. His period is from 1564 to 1616. He has written all forms of literature, but his expertise lies in writing dramas. Dramas are the heart and soul of the literature of William Shakespeare. He has written many dramas, comedies, tragedies, but majorly he has focused on writing tragedies, and the tragedies that he has written have always struck a chord with the readers. The famous tragedies that he has written are Macbeth, Othello, King Lear, and Hamlet. Hamlet is the most significant play that William Shakespeare has written. Hamlet was published in 1603 and it has many high points in it. It is the most famous play. It is the longest play of Shakespeare. It is unedited version is of almost 5 hours. It has 7 soliloquies and it has for the first time a writer attempted to explore the inner conflict in the mind of the characters. Before that, the external conflicts and external situations were considered, but what is going on in the mind of the characters, that was majorly expressed through the soliloquies, and that was the high point of the play of Hamlet. The major themes in the Hamlet play are of revenge. Basically, it is a revenge drama of how Hamlet is trying to take revenge of his father's death. Then there is procrastination, complexity of action. Then there is a supernatural element involved in the play of Hamlet. The major characters in the play are Claudius, Hamlet's uncle, then Gertrude, Hamlet's mother, Ophelia, Hamlet's girlfriend, Polonius, who is Ophelia's father. So these are the major characters in the play. The Hamlet as a play is very, very significant, and it is for the first time evokes lot of emotions in the minds of the readers during that time, and it was written 17th century. Many movies have been made based on the play, like in Hindi the movie Heather was based on the play of Hamlet. The major story of the play Hamlet starts when we come to know there is the kingdom of Denmark, and in this kingdom of Denmark there is the king called Claudius who is ruling, and the old king Hamlet has died, and he died in his sleep. The prince of Denmark, that is Hamlet, he comes to know about his father's death, and he is basically a student of philosophy. So he comes back to the palace, to the kingdom of Denmark, and there he comes to know of his father's death and is really shocked. During that time, we realize that in the play it is seen that this palace where Claudius was staying is a haunted palace and some ghosts are coming. So Hamlet's friend Horatio tells Hamlet about the appearance of ghost near the castle, and when Hamlet encounters that ghost, the ghost resembles Hamlet's father a lot, and the ghost tells Hamlet that your father was actually murdered by his own brother Claudius. So this act of fratricide, which we call the killing of one's brother, fratricide, this crime has taken place. So Hamlet's father did not die a natural death, but he was actually killed by his own brother. And this brother Claudius not only murdered his own brother, but also married the wife of the old king. That means he married Hamlet's mother and usurped the whole kingdom. So he's actually a villain in the story, and the ghost urges Hamlet to take revenge of his father's death, but not to harm his mother. So Hamlet is in a state of shock, and this inner turmoil in the mind of the character starts at how he's going to face the situation and whether he should believe the ghost or not. And there are these soliloquies start coming up in the play where he's confused whether he should take action, whether he should trust the ghost or not. Then he decides to test the guilt of the king Claudius, and for that he decides to stage a drama in front of Claudius and his mother Gertrude in the kingdom, to see the guilt on the faces of the king Claudius. And when the drama is staged, and when, because this drama was based on the real life story of King Claudius, and when this drama was being staged at that point of time when this man was about to kill his own brother, we find that Claudius moves out of the kingdom, of the palace, and he goes towards his chamber. So this was a very clear indication of the fact that he was guilty of the crime for which Hamlet was testing him. So Hamlet becomes very sure at this point that Claudius has actually killed his father, and he moves towards the chamber of Claudius in order to kill him. So as soon as he goes into the chamber, he sees that that point of time Claudius was praying to God. Maybe he had a feeling of guilt or remorse for some time, and so he starts praying to God. So Hamlet's at this point of time, he was about to kill Claudius, but then he thinks that if he kills this man when he's praying to God, then he will go to heaven. And Hamlet does not want him to go to heaven, he wanted him to go to hell. So he delays this act of killing, he delays the act of taking revenge, and for this a special term is used which is called as procrastination. So because of this procrastination or delay in action, the whole scenario, the whole story takes a change, takes a swift turn. If Hamlet had killed Claudius at this point of time, the story would have been different. Now, because of this, he does not kill Claudius at this point of time. He goes to his mother's room, Gertrude's room, and then he has a heated exchange with his mother, because he is very angry with his mother as why his mother got married to his own uncle just 1 month after his father's death. Now, Gertrude is a good woman. She used to love her son a lot, but still, for some reasons, she married her husband's brother. So they have a heated exchange. At that point of time, Hamlet notices there's someone hiding behind the curtain and who is trying to overhear their conversation. So he thinks that it is King Claudius who is overhearing the conversation. So he stabs the man from behind the curtain, thinking that it was Claudius. But the man who falls from behind the curtain was actually Polonius and not Claudius. And Polonius was the prime minister of King Claudius, and he was also the father of Ophelia, and Ophelia was the girlfriend of Hamlet. So actually, by mistake, Hamlet had killed his own girlfriend's father. So he was shocked at him. He also felt guilty. Hamlet felt guilty, and he was shocked that why did he commit that crime. And because of that, the relation between Hamlet and Ophelia gets estranged. And at the same time, Claudius comes to know about this whole incident, and he realizes that what Hamlet is up to. Now, Ophelia, who is an innocent girl and who was friendly with Hamlet, gets a big shock of her life that her father has been murdered by Hamlet. So she goes into depression. She in fact loses her sanity, and she sings depressing songs, and ultimately she drowns herself in a river and she dies. So the first tragedy of the play starts happening. And so now we find that Claudius has come to know he wants to kill Hamlet. Hamlet has already plans to kill Claudius. Now the story also has many levels. There is another political angle in the story where the old King Hamlet, that is Hamlet's father, he was the king of Denmark, but he had attacked Norway, another country, Norway, and where he had killed the king of Norway. Now the prince of Norway, the son of that deceased king, was also planning to attack Denmark and take over the kingdom and avenge his father's death. So there is so many characters who are having the idea of taking revenge in their mind. One was Hamlet, then other was Claudius, and now this prince of Norway, Fortinbras, he is also planning to attack the kingdom of Denmark and avenge his father's death. Now after Ophelia dies and Polonius also dies, their Polonius' son and Ophelia's brother, Laertes, emerges into the drama, and he comes to know that his sister and his father has been killed by Hamlet. So he is very much shocked, and he wants to take revenge from Hamlet. Now Claudius tries to take advantage of the situation, and he instigates Laertes to take revenge from Hamlet. So for that, first Hamlet and Laertes meet at a point at the grave of Ophelia, and they have heated arguments. And then Claudius decides to have a match between them, a fencing match, where they will fight with their swords. And Claudius poisons the sword of Laertes, so that even one cut with that sword if Hamlet has, then he will immediately be killed. At the same time, he has a backup plan also. He prepares a wine which is full of poison, so that in case Hamlet is not hurt by the sword, he will drink the wine and then he will die. So this is what happens. Then Laertes and Hamlet, they have a sword fight. Now the mother of Hamlet, Gertrude, she comes in the scene, and when she is seeing her son fighting, she raises a toast for her son, and she drinks that glass of wine which contains poison. So another death happens in the play, and the mother of Hamlet dies. Now during this fight, the sword fight between Hamlet and Laertes, Laertes is able to injure Hamlet with that sword, and at the same time, so Hamlet gets poisoned, but Hamlet immediately takes action and he stabs Laertes with his sword. So while dying, Laertes tells Hamlet that Claudius has actually planned the whole thing and he wants Hamlet to get killed. So at that point of time, then Hamlet goes and stabs Claudius. And so Claudius dies, Laertes dies, and Hamlet himself, as he was injured by that poisonous sword, also dies. So there is a death scene in the last act of the drama where so many characters die. That is why it is a tragedy. But the thought that comes to one's mind is, this tragedy could have been avoided if timely action would have taken place. And at the same time, Fortinbras, who was trying to avenge his father's death, who was a prince of Norway, he comes and he easily takes over the whole kingdom of Denmark because there was no one left. The king, the queen, the prince, everyone has died. So what is the takeaway message from this play of Hamlet? That we all human beings go through lots of problems and struggles in our life. We face situations where we do not know what is right for us, what is the right time, what is the right decision to be taken, what is morally right, what is morally wrong. But this play gives us a message that if we take the decision at the right time, then our situations, our destiny can change. If Hamlet had killed Claudius at that point of time when he was praying, the situation would have been different. He delayed the action, he procrastinated, and because of that, the whole lot of tragedy happened and so many people died at the end of the play. So the takeaway message that we have is, we need to, face the situation, challenge the situation, not run away from the situation. At the same time, act timely. When you take the right decision in your life at the right time, then your destiny can change. But because as we all know, that opportunity strikes our door once or twice. So we have to use that opportunity, take advantage of the situation and not delay the actions in our life. So this is the takeaway message, and it's a very significant message that we get to learn from this play of Hamlet. Thank you so much.